Nick, in this offseason free agency period, the wide receiver market has exploded. All the top end receivers have stopped dead in their tracks. They want the biggest deals. They want as much money as they can possibly get. But for the Super Bowl winning LA Rams, that's not the case with their Triple Crown winning superstar receiver. I think he gave a little bit of a talk about how things are different for him, and you have more on that.
Yeah, so Chow Miari over at The Score had a nice piece about it. He talking about Kupp and the Rams. Miari wrote, though Kupp's stellar 2021 season put him in a position to potentially reset that market again, the all-pro wideout isn't demanding that happens. Quote, I don't think that's the approach that I take, unquote, Coop said, according to Nick Shook of NFL.com. There's a place you want to be. There's a place that I think is fair. Coop isn't among the NFL's highest paid pass catchers, but no other receiver, Kupp, but no other receiver dominated like he did last season. The 2017 third-round pick led the league in catches, yards, and touchdown receptions en route to winning the Offensive Player of the Year award. He also shone in the postseason, winning Super Bowl MVP honors after leading his team to a title. Kupp went on to say, I'm not trying to beat anybody. I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone else. Rams head coach Sean McVay, for his part, said Tuesday that extending Kupp is a priority this spring, and the two sides have had, quote, a good dialogue, according to The Athletic. So Kupp's kind of an interesting thing, right? Because he came from Eastern Washington, which is small. It's an FCS school. Do you remember the story that came out? I think it was around the Super Bowl about his wife, what Kupp's wife had to do. Did you ever hear about that?
Yeah, I think she was a bartender or a waitress or something. She had to work all kinds of shifts to help pay all of their bills, and he I think every time anyone asks him what makes you think so successful, number one answer on his list every time is I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my wife. She's the reason I'm here. I wouldn't have made it without her help. So I think in that regard, Cooper Kupp seems like one of the most humble guys in the NFL, or they could possibly be.
Well, not just humble. I think and I think you hit on it. His wife, I think, according to I think there was an expose on ESPN about it, talking about how his wife didn't go to college, dropped out of college to 10 bar and work full time to support them monetarily while he was working his dream to be an NFL receiver, even though he was in college at the time. I think because of that mindset, Kupp is more focused on paying back and building his family and giving back to his family. He's not chasing 50 million. He knows he's going to get paid. He knows he already makes good money in the NFL. So he's not looking to get at a point where, hey, I'm going to go all in to get 50 million or 60 million or 45, whatever the number is, whatever the new reset is. I think it's probably around 30 million. He'll settle for a lot less. I think it's about appreciation for what his family has done for him. And I think it's just a great story in the NFL because it's just showing that, sometimes it's not about being the highest paid player. It's about doing right by your family and doing right by your team. And credit to Kupp for doing this. I think it's an awesome story.
Yeah, and I think that goes to show more of how Kupp is as a person. It's about the family, and that team is his family, and he's all about paying respects to those who got you there. And I think the players and coaches around him, he understands, are who help him get to be the Triple Crown winner, Offensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl MVP. He couldn't have done it on his own. And I think he's very loyal to those around him. So in that regard, he knows he's going to get paid. He's going to get a big payday. But he's like, listen, I could do 20 mil. I could do 15, 20 mil. Yeah. Not a big deal. I don't need 30. 20 is great. So I think that'll be something around those lines. But, we could be wrong. But he seems like he's very loyal to those people who are there for him, who help him achieve his goals. And I think both his wife and the Rams and players and coaches around him are the people involved in getting him to where he is today.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to look at the fact, and Kupp, I think, is one of those quintessential glue guys. I mean, you look at Aaron Donald, he was contemplating retirement. He comes back. McVay, there was rumors he was leaving. He's come back. He comes back. When you got a guy like Kupp who's willing to sacrifice and go the extra mile just to build a better team, like I said, be a glue guy, a locker room guy, I think it really contributes to a strong team culture. And that really matters. Football is more about just having the best players. It's about getting the right human beings in the locker room. And Kupp is a perfect example of the right kind of player.